This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. No, so the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
on
I've seen
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Yes.
This week is This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
Or Instagram.
on
I've seen
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Yes.
This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? The person has not responded, so we're opening it up to. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account.
Or Instagram.
On
I've seen
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
Or Instagram.
on
I've seen
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
On
Instagram.
Instagram. No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
On
Instagram.
Instagram. No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
Instagram. No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
Instagram. No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
Instagram. No, there's no WhatsApp. We could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast, and we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account
or Instagram.
Instagram. No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast. And we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account.
Or Instagram.
On
See
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast. And we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account.
Or Instagram. See
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a comment and we could drop the link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes. This week is episode 200 of the Techpoint Africa podcast. And we're trying to commemorate the occasion. So the thing is, we invited one of our most engaged listeners or watchers to come on the podcast. Has the person responded? No. So the person has not responded. So we're opening it up to any one of you listening or watching this. Just send us a DM on Twitter or anywhere else you can. Just send the DM to the Techpoint Africa account.
Or Instagram. See
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
No, there's no WhatsApp, please. Or you could just leave a link to our Instagram or Twitter account on YouTube there. So, but you can just look for us and tell us, oh, you like to be part of us. So you're going to join us on the studio on that day and have a conversation and we'll have fun and
Bring
yes.
Wait for things to queue, and then wait till my turn to get something. So, but I just need to get your own opinion. Is waiting always a good thing? Sometimes it's a bad thing. Yes or no? Like, you think waiting is always a good thing? You raise your hand.
The ceremony.
No, waiting. Yeah, is it always a good thing? Like, to wait. Depends on correct. So I had this experience that this popular Nigerian car. I put up an equipment for a year. I couldn't get feedback. I couldn't get inquiries. So over a year, I paid for ads. I didn't see anything. So after a year, the equipment eventually I had to sell it off in the black market. Do you understand? So I didn't make money from it. It was a disappointing experience. So I'm introducing Jason. So Jason is a niche marketplace to rent and then trade vehicles and equipment. Because there's a problem in the Nigerian market. So in Nigeria, we do have the regular marketplaces. So these marketplaces cater for the needs of commodity products, like general products, like electronics, fashion, and everything. So, but we don't have it for machinery and very important equipment. Do you understand? So this particular sector of the economy is struggling. If you have an equipment, I've done so many groups. I have an engineering background, so I've done so many groups. So if there's an equipment for sale, they put it on the group that we have this machine here, for sale, we have this vehicle here. There is no dedicated marketplace. So that's why we wanted to introduce Jason. So the problem is that there's a lot of equipment that are wasted. I want a seed company. So at some point we had over 100 box. We were down, you understand? So our boss wanted to get rid of them, just scrap value, because he couldn't find a buyer, someone that could take this burden off him. You understand? So that was where the idea started. I was like, why don't we have something like an auto trader? The same way you has auto trader, the same way the US has the Iron Planet. These are the data marketplaces that caters for this particular sector. So then, of course, entrepreneurs don't have access to where they can rent some equipment. So that's a big problem. And then rely on your website. There's little you can do with your website. I have so many websites, people don't go there, people just end up on your social media pages. So the country needs a dedicated marketplace that give enough visibility to some of these vehicles and equipment. Of course. And then the biggest problem is like places like Digi, because Digi is what we have. We don't have anything more than Digi. It's focused on consumer goods. You want to sell your phone, you want to sell your laptop, this is what you get from Digi. You don't get more than that. But if you have equipment and put it there, people are not going to check. People don't know that Digi sells machines. Do you understand? Okay. People know that they sell equipment. And then when you want to source some of these parts, you either have to go to trade fair, where you have Aspan to be able to source some equipment, source some what's it called, parts. So it's a big problem. And then the last challenge is there's no export services. I've been on GG for a long time. Like there's no export service. If you want to trade, let's say your buyer is. So either the person trusts you or comes to Lagos to come and see what you are selling, or he's not going to want to make payment before. So there is no escrow payment, so it's a problem. We want to provide is that we want to add liquidity to used and new assets. We want to make it easy for people to discover some of this equipment, some of these vehicles and machines. They are lying idle, they are wasting away. After 4 years, your time is usually 4 years. And after 4 years, the value drops. Do you understand? So the earlier you put it out there, and people are seeing it, potential buyers are seeing it, it's better for you. Because if you don't do that, after 4 years, the value goes down. At the end, you may just end up selling for scrap. We also want to rate and recommend best-selling dealers to users. And then, of course, provide opportunity for local technicians. We want to have local technicians in different sectors of equipment, construction, manufacturing, on the platform. If you want somebody you can trust that can fix a diesel machine, this is the guy you can find him on the platform. So we want to provide that ecosystem that will kind of help the industry to really grow. And then we want to also have in-app settlement, like if you choose to use it. If you choose to use in-app settlement, you can pay, and then there is an escrow service. We hold the phone till the transaction is completed. And then we also want to facilitate online. This is a very interesting feature because the auto trader, they do have this kind of feature. When you can put your car on auction and somebody in Abuja buys the car, he mustn't be in Lagos or be at the physical site to see what he's buying. As long as you can say, okay, we guarantee this sale, we guarantee this product at 100%. And then market validation, GG.com, social business is a completely but it has more than 500,000 listed across various equipment and construction tools. Then the market size. Of course, our rough estimate says that the market size for vehicles, machines, and equipment is worth trillions in naira. And then what we want to incorporate in the we want it to have sponsored ads, messaging, interactive analytics, auction sales, rating and reviews. Of course, I'm particular about advanced analytics because it's very important. This is what I enjoy using some of these popular e-commerce apps. And then, of course, there should be social media integration. If someone wants to see a video of the item, he should be able to, there should be a way for him to be able to see it. And then payment and escrow, vetting and security, very important. There's no way this platform is going to try without security. Every seller, every participant must be vetted. So at this stage, we are still at the education stage. I'm speaking to a number of developers here in Southern trying to get an MVP. Initially, I wanted to do a no-code to MVP, but I didn't want something that would look like a toy. Like people are used to advanced apps, you understand? So I wanted something that would look like a real thing. So we are seeing consultation with so many people to see the cheapest cost to get an MVP. And then after our MVP, we'll do some user testing and then some kind of fundraising, of course, social media marketing starts. And then before we now have the design and, of course, the standard products. Okay, so the business model is like we're going to charge our 10% commission on all trades. And of course, if you choose to use option sales, 20% charge, of course, this is like the initial, and when the project starts up. Of course, and then there will be online conversations. It won't just be an in-app, there will be social media, proper social media, and a community around the project. It's not going to be just coming to the app and buy. There will be interaction, there will be like events like Techpoint. I like what they are doing. There's an ecosystem surrounding the tech community. So in that way, people have idea what's happening on the platform. And then, of course, to get more market adoption, we plan to go to global events. Of course, I've looked at this so many times. When I dance conferences, real estate events, building and construction events. Of course, there will be road shows, campaigns, incentivization, and free listing. So our competition is, of course, Gigi is actually our only goal. These marketplaces are not proper sites to go for machines. You can say your car bought this and something, but Gigi is actually our main competitor. So the competitor advantage you have at this point is that it's a dedicated marketplace. That's my number one reason. I want people to think, okay, when they have a car, when they have a machine, when they have something to sell, that they think first to have to be just something. And then you have the auction sales. And then YouTube integration, virtual tours, independent inspection. Of course, there will be a little of expert. There will be experts on the platform. Of course, they make their living from the platform. They get paid to go and vet some of these items. And then there will be rent and escrow features. So don't take some of these financials seriously because we are still working on that. But we expect to be profitable in 3 years, 3 to 4 years. And then some of the database architecture, design, integration. This as regards to building the app. And then, of course, the processing costs, salaries, HTTP, of course. So we will have that in the future. So, of course, I'm a product designer, of course, my junior brother is a graphic designer, then Joshua is the front-end engineer. So I'm looking for a co-founder right now. So I'm still in touch with so many people, but I'm yet to onboard a co-founder, a technical co-founder to this site. So that's what we essentially want to do, and then we hope for your support. Yeah, thank you.
So shameless plug, I have a newsletter, Techpoint Africa newsletter. It's called The Rich Merchant. Yesterday, I talked about Julie, the co-founder. If you're not that, I'm sorry you will not find it on the website. I will not be forwarding it to you. They are going to be taking questions. And yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, let's have it.
Yeah, my question is, so, aside the car, equipment, and construction,
Vehicles
vehicle,
and equipment.
equipment, and there's part of construction something.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yes, the chances that I have the vehicle and I want it, that I have a job already is there.
You have?
That if I have those kind of equipment,
Yeah.
the chances that I have someone that can help me sell it,
Yeah.
the chances is there already.
Okay.
So, but what are you doing to make me not use my blog and use yours that you are going to charge me 10%? And my blog might not charge me 10%.
Okay, the 10%, of course, there will be just the same way it works. Do you understand? If you want a promotion, if you want a premium features, like your ads to be promoted, you pay for it. Okay. So the 10% is that if you want the platform to facilitate the sale for you, like take it over from you get, you don't have to be the one, you don't just wait on the platform to get a buyer. So one now pushing the sales to you. You get. So we're not just going to be a platform. No, we are in touch with so many industry players.
Okay, follow up. Do you know everything? That's CIN.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah.
Yes, so they came into the country,
Yeah.
GG and the likes were already in the country. And their unique selling point was exactly this. You want to list on their platform,
Yes.
you give it to them to list for you. They take sell it. When you facilitate the sales, you take it cut. And then at the end of the day, they shut down. So I don't know if you look at what they did wrong that stuff. You don't have to point that out.
So I'll do some research on that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sorry, my name is Joseph. I write I think I have similar concerns to what you said, but I'll just make it into a narrative that's probably easier to say. Right, so generally when we do automobile, the easiest way to get it done is P2P.
Okay.
Right, so it's not even going on the it's just like, guy, I have a car, it's 2 years old, I want to offload it, I'm back buying, the price is 2 million, you want it, or tell someone that wants it. And because of e-commerce has blown, and I don't think there's e-commerce, personally, I don't think there's e-commerce anymore, I think there's social commerce. Talking about that for talk about next week and say that there's no more e-commerce anymore. So there's social commerce. So someone is trying to actually upload through social media. How are you trying to help me that things about that way to want to bank with you? I'm very closely tied to that. It's also advertising. I listen to what you said about advertising, talk about road shows, talk about events, and all. Jumia is a e-commerce player and they have been down for some time. I hope they come back up. We're looking forward to their next results. You were spending so much on advertising. The last report in Q2, it cut down to 84%. And of course, advertising is expensive. Road shows are expensive. Events are expensive. Even being here is expensive as well. How are you going to be spending on getting people to like adopt the product that already they already find a quick solution to through P2P? So that's like where my worry is, because I mean, personally, you get for me, I would have done P2P. So like convince me to not do P2P and like use the platform, because that's the same way for automobile, whether it's vehicles, whether it's construction materials or.
So you mentioned P2P. This is actually a P2P platform, but you have more people. If P2P was working, okay, I wouldn't have so many people looking for to sell their equipment or sell their cars. I have so many, where I stay, I have so many people who want to sell their cars. They haven't gotten a buyer till tomorrow. You need a broader community of people that want to do business. And GG is not enough. You get, I've been on the platform for more than 5 years. Their model is not just enough, because you need a product that caters to a particular sector of the economy. You get that when somebody is thinking to, okay, I want to sell this is the first place that should come to mind. I shouldn't be, okay, I'm going to this platform, I'm going to be able to sell my phone, I'm going to be able to sell my laptop, I'm going to be able to sell cars as well. It's just too many. You get, I missed your first question.
Why should he give his B2B solution?
Yeah. Okay. Because if your solution was working, I have so many friends that currently have things to sell in this industry. And if it was working, they would have discharged it a long time ago. It's not working.
To follow up to that question on data, because the kind of situation we are in Nigeria is very precarious. I mean, the usual car that I want to buy at 2 million probably. How are we trying to make people, adopt this if purchasing power is low for most people generally now, dollar, high, inflation issues? Is there an embedded finance option, something like probably CK offers, or something that everybody can buy this in and is there a chance to actually buy the product at some price and top it up over time? I came late, so forgive me if you missed that.
We don't control the market price. We won't control the market price of any product. But we are only there to give visibility. Like your car in the house, instead of waiting for 6 months to get a buyer, do you understand? We want to build something that will give enough visibility, more eyes on it. People will ask you about it, and then before 3 months or something, you've gotten rid of it. So for the price you're going to sell it, I don't know. There will be option sales, of course. Do you get? Like if you want something, the cheapest price, you understand? You want to get your bill today, tomorrow, you understand? It's going to be possible. But I wouldn't comment on the market price. Okay, that's a different thing altogether.
Okay, to finalize, I'm talking too much, I'm sorry. I think that recommendation, maybe you might want to consider auctioning the core market value over a P2P on a saturated market that people already find other solutions to solve. And let me explain. So some months ago, because it was seizing people's cars, I'm trying to auction it off, right? If you were in the mix at that situation, helping people to probably do that in re-auctioning or maybe customs, compared to this recommendation, you don't have to get it. Compared to trying to do the B2B thing, which I know that if I talk to Bolo or I talk to Chico here, I'll probably sell the car because I know that you're trying to sell it to me, but I'm not saying. Thank you very much.
Alright, so you know how to respond to that.
Alright, hi investors. My name is Mario. So I have two things to say. First thing is that you mentioned that GG is your only competitor.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about your competitor, I don't think your biggest competitor is GG. Your biggest competitor is word of mouth. Mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
I have something to sell.
Okay.
I tell my guy, I tell my guy.
How many of your guys?
Hold on. I have something to sell.
Okay.
I tell my guys, and my guys recommend this to sell or how to sell it. And then I get my pursue things like that, a lot of things like that. Now there's this demarcation between what people can shop online and what people cannot shop online. Now you have low-end products and then you have high-end products. You're talking about the machines, they want to have a physical touch or physical representation and see what they need to do there, right? When it comes to anything that gets to the level of canceling online, but they will still need to come to your store to see what they need to buy. There's a reason why Jumia is not profitable yet, right?
Our business model is
I understand your business model. When it has to do with selling stuff online, getting people to buy stuff online in Nigeria, it's kind of very difficult. I don't know if you are getting my point. It's kind of very difficult. So what I would recommend, my suggestion right now, is that somebody already mentioned that social commerce is what's existing right now, not big commerce. Social commerce is killing up. I've purchased a lot of things via social media and it's working really well, right? So I would suggest that, just like you said, an functioning kind of platform where people can walk into your store, be like a consultant to facilitate transaction between renting these machines and people that want to rent. And you need to have a network of people that need services of high-end machines and people that possess those high-end machines. So it's just like an intermediary, not that you are not listing products on the website and advertising, running out that shows. I think that's going to be my suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I think the primary reason why I'm talking about a car or any machinery, or especially if it is used on platforms like GG, is because there's access. You buy these things and you see them, they are doing the problem, they are being set up. So I think what would make me jump from this is if we're able to give me some form of guarantee now. Buy this machinery through this platform, you guarantee it this way, give you some sort of insurance.
We're not going to guarantee the product. We're going to guarantee the seller. You get? We're going to say this guy has sold 4 things on our platform and it's been 100%. So if you want to trust him, you can trust him. You get? So we cannot guarantee the product. It's the seller. So over time, we're going to vet a couple of guys, a couple of companies, and these people are doing very well. This company is doing very well. If you buy from them, of course, it's not going to be just for fairly used products. Even new products. We want to have innocent having a store with us. You understand? That way, without you, okay, you trust innocence. Whatever he sells to you, if you have a bad experience, you give me a bad review. You can.
Okay, so I think we'll take one more question. I have a few comments. So, first would be what you said about your level. You said you don't want to use WordPress. So here's the thing, you're not a tech company, or your primary service is not tech. So I really don't care whether you're using WordPress, whether you're using a custom built solution. Nobody cares. Your customers don't care how your product is delivered, provided it gets it. That's what I'll say about that. You can use anything and build your product. There are no-code solutions that will give you something, and you will be able to differentiate between no-code and code or no-code.
It may not have analytics.
Yeah, it may not have that, but you want an MVP, you don't want a fully fledged product. You can go back and look at what Facebook looked like in 2003. I'm very, very sure it's not what it looks like today. Second is your market size. Yes, you said your market size is what trillions of naira. If I was investing in you, I'd be like, what the hell is trillions of naira? Now, we have issues with getting data in Nigeria, but trillions of naira throws me off. What is trillions of naira? So, suggestion for that is, how many cars come into Nigeria every year? Can you get that data? How much, what, are they private cars? Are they commercial cars? Are they machinery? What category do they fall into? What's the average price for all of that? And then do an estimate based on that. So for example, let's say you can find out that there are 10,000 cars are coming to Nigeria, 7,000 of them are private cars, 3,000 of them are buses, and then the rest is split between agriculture and machinery and every other thing. And then you say the average cost of this car is 2 million naira. 2 million times 10,000 is about 2 billion, you are not saying. And then you say the market size is 2 billion naira. It makes more sense because now I can see your process and I know how you achieve it. But trillions of naira is just the third thing I was going to say is a wise man once said, the fact that there's a gap in the market does not mean that there's a market in that gap.
My question is this. This 2008, I think I stopped using GG for transaction far back 2008. I'm not confident to do anything simply because I got 2002, I don't know, during the era of BlackBerry. I bought a phone from GG, from a campus student. I saw the phone, I used the phone. If you check the phone, you did the normal check of that. When I got what I saw live and what I tested, you know what I got back. Something different than I was frustrated. So how do you plan now to solve that when you come to it? Because you're talking about machineries now. Car. Like my dad is an engineer, so there was a time somebody, the fellow engineer, there's this job, there's this contract. No. Just stand. That's all. It's coming online. You give people access to so much tools and so much. How do you plan to like operate all this? You make sure that because I think for this to work, you have to make it simple as ABCD. You are getting this. If come to my side. So what is your plan? What's the solution to this problem? Most especially to avoid what you order. Maybe somebody placed an order for 10 trucks. And at the end of the day, after paying the money, they didn't deliver. What do you plan to do? How would that person get a refund immediately? Or you tell the person to wait 24 hours or 48 hours to get the feedback?
Follow. You mentioned that you are promising your buyers that they are getting the best. That might be the best way to keep the business. Because Jumia cannot promise you that what you are getting from them is the best. Because if I sell you something, it's Jumia that you are going to hold responsible, not the buyer.
No, we don't guarantee.
No, that you said
we guarantee the seller. We tell you that this guy is the best in this area. We'll give him a rating. You understand?
Yeah.
So, hello? No, the same model that she wants. Do you understand?
He is not promising anything.
That's what I'm saying.
What about promises?
No,
There's no customer, there's no business for how
of course, when you start from scratch, everybody is zero, like rating zero. Do you understand? But when the platform starts and then business starts, you begin to give review about this guy. You get it? And then there'll be
As a new seller, my rating is zero.
So here's the thing, you don't even have an answer to that question. Because what they're asking you is important, but you don't have an answer to it.
I think the advantage is the SQL version of it. So you mentioned something earlier on. We have
About SQL, yes. You also mentioned it.
give me folks. Yeah, thank you very much.
So next is recipe.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abel Jigo, fellow designer and co-founder of Presence. At Presence, we are poised with solving the solution of the real estate marketplace. And when you look at the problem called, okay, I want to relocate to a state, and I'm like, okay, I want to know how the accommodation is, like let's say in Abuja. I don't know what a mini flat is, or a 2-bedroom flat, and I'm planning towards something. I just want to move. Currently, I don't have a place where I can actually have this estimate based on different apartments. Let's say I want to move to Abuja or Lagos in Ikeja. I want to know the range of prices in Ikeja for 3-bedroom flats. I want to, because I have a budget, I know what is obtainable for me. So I currently don't have such platform. My president is looking to solve such, whereby I can have a user-friendly platform where I can see these apartments, this land, and also property. Let's say someone is investing from the diaspora, and you want to invest in the property. You can see them, you can see the video of these, and also you can also have a live video, like bringing social into that too. Whereby virtual inspections, you can come in that space. Whereby you can ask, okay, let's check this out. We can see what's the property live, like going live on a hub. So Chrysler is looking to solve this problem. And one more thing they're also looking at is the event halls. Currently, if you have an location, you need to start moving from one place to the other. Okay, I want to have my wedding at Ikeja, and I don't know the event halls there. I have to keep going from one place to another, asking questions and the rest. But on Crestbase, you can come, you can see the range of prices, you can see your capacity, you can even negotiate through our inner chat. So yes, Crestbase solves this problem. So Crestbase is empowering real estate company with a cutting-edge platform which unites buyers and sellers. Okay, the problem, lack of visibility to verify real estate companies.
So we are giving real estate companies and help them sell their assets easily. Second one, inability to get apartment, property, and land at the needed location and on time. Okay, I want a property in Lekki. I don't know what's selling there. I don't know who owns who. I want to be sure I'm getting the right person. I'm getting the right property. The third problem is inability to get event halls available in an area, but you just want to know. I'm having a conference and people I'm targeting are in this area. I want to know. I want to know the price. I want to plan. I want to budget ahead. Inability to get the needed artisan in the area you just moved to. Artisans are service providers. I'm moving to a new location and I'm like, okay, I need a painter. My stuff. So we're actually bringing this together and solving, like giving our holistic solutions. We have verified. I mean verify, like you know that you're dealing with the right person with the right details. So the solution, we're looking at user-friendly interface and detailed property and well before the money is moved to the service provider. So and also we want to the agents. So our mission currently is to use technology to help individuals acquire, rent, and book real estate assets by connecting them to real estate companies that offer the asset they desire. Our vision is to become the leading real estate marketplace in Africa. That is making real estate acquisition, renting, booking, and finding assets easy. The business model. So we have our subscription-based business model, whereby real estate companies can actually subscribe to our platform to get listed. We have three listing platforms. We have the standard listing, premium listing, and the platinum listing. The platinum listing gives you more visibility, whereby users can see your assets easily and get to see you. Another part that we also do is that video commission based. Every asset sold on press base, we have a 0.5 commission on them. So when you make a purchase or you sell or you buy an asset on press base, there's a commission coming to us. And we encourage users to pay through us because there's an escrow system and it's a guarantee for your money. So we have our subscription plan. And okay, our competitive edge. Okay, real estate features, you're looking at real estate companies or realtors can list their properties and event on the platform through our subscription-based model. We have press-based and other content companies that do this. So easy to use mobile app and web platform. Currently, when you want to get an asset, you want to get a property, you just see something busy everywhere. And we are solving it in a very intuitive way whereby our mobile app is clean to use and easy to use, that you can see what you want to buy easily. Nobody is giving you one ad somewhere that is coming up and you're like, no, this is just too much for me to handle. We have high quality platform features such as advanced search or mapping tools, comprehensive property listings, and unique value-added service such as virtual tours. Virtual tours is like the place of the social part of it, whereby you can actually do virtual inspection and see what you're doing live. Okay, this agent is telling me this property is this place. Okay, let's go live to press this. Let's see this thing for you. Let's see if it exists there. And you can actually confirm this and see for yourself. And easy to find artisan on the hub. Here you can find service providers too. Whereby it's okay. I'm renting this apartment, or I'm rented at this event hall in this area. I need event decorators. I need vendors. I need caterers that can actually deliver on time. I don't want to have the hassle of, okay, logistics, oh, you're on the way, no. I need somebody that has been vetted, that has been verified, that can actually give me the service top notch. Easy to use in a chat. So we have an inner chat too, whereby you can actually chat, trusting your agent or the real estate company, vendor company easily. You can chat them, oh, this, and you can communicate easily. So our screenshots, these are our screenshots. We have all of these screenshots. So the market. Nigeria market, let me go for the global market first. More than 50% of the world asset is in the real estate space. And we have like the $231 trillion. And the Nigeria market, real estate sector in Nigeria increased in the third quarter 2022 grew by 1.77%, contributing a total GDP of 5.2 GDP. That's we have there. So we have a market already. And this market is growing every day because real estate is a big issue, and we know that. So our target money is.
We have the real estate companies, there's the registered real estate companies, because you have to be registered to come on the platform. We have the realtors, that's verified real estate managers, developer companies, artisans, and general users. And we have like projected 86% projected year-on-year growth rate for year 1 and year 2. So our market strategy is looking like partnership. We're partnering with real estate companies that are well known. And we are partnering, also forming community. Because community, we have a community base where we are trying to help realtors and real estate companies say on their asset, okay, push here and this thing, so that even before we launch our app, we are currently launching our app, it's in the build, and we are reviewing on Play Store and App Store currently. And even before we do that, we start help them, looking for ways to help them sell these things, their assets easily, and they can see us as a trusted ally. And also expanding our network, we use like social media influencers, and we use like search engine optimization, which is important. All of these are key parts, and engaging professional scriptwriters. So we have a strength, our opportunities and strength. So this is the team behind this. We have a team, a well-structured team that is leading this, and we will bring this. So thank you. We believe getting real estate assets is not just about transactions. It's about experience. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, this makes sense because of for me, because of the artisan part that you added. If that's the one USP you have, that will make people want to use the platform. So it will be like a booking. So when you come, it means you want to do and then you want to check out and take payments, right? And the challenge though is that's the piece of weakness. Because as an obviously you have to manage. And so the experience will affect your brand. But that was positive. So to be able to deal with artisan management. This is awesome.
Okay, another person. Can I respond to that? Another person. If I can respond to that. Thank you for that question. Very, very good. Thank you so much. So currently, before we actually say, because we've personally the problem of they'll tell you this or deliver this date, they won't deliver. But it's one of
to the house and just the stores.
yes. So in a way too, before we even get to, because before they get this, they will verify. Maybe verify like their details. Because we partner with one to actually verify our users. And like you said, they actually give you with your biometric too. You can get that done. And the other part is that we're looking also to actually get each artisan on first days and ID card. So you know who you are dealing with. That's one of the ways to mitigate that. So another part is also looking at the escrow system. You can only pay parts of the money. Let's say instead of pay like 50%, go to this job. When you are done and you're ready, move the money to. So all of these things also to check it. And the review system is there. Once your review system, once you get reviews that are negative, we flag it. This person is not doing the job. This person is doing this. So that's bad business. That's one of the ways we look into getting that.
I like the fact that you are proactive, but be sure to be ready because the reality is just that. Because I don't want to point out all the different possible options people would want to enforce, like payment. What's the percentage that you want to assure the user? What's the percentage the artisan is willing to have for the stats? Because that often has to cover materials and all of that. Just be ready for that part of the business.
Thank you. Alright, so let's go.
So the question is, you mentioned the artisans. Like you said, how do you plan to manage the artisans?
Okay.
You know, on the regular day, my class is very hard to find artisans. On the normal day, just to call them, come, we can take like days or hours for the show. So So how do you plan to keep them in the system after they onboard? So as a follow-up to the question, sorry. You know, a lot of these artisans you are trying to bring to your platform, you will get cases where a lot of them are actually not tech savvy. So now it's looking like you are streamlining your own business model to set up tech savvy individuals. So, and generally, we have a lot of artisans that are not tech savvy. So how do you plan to?
Okay. Currently, we actually, for our waiting list, we have some set of artisans that, like, you go to our website, that are joining. And one of the things we are forced to do is that we're trying to give them the education of the flow to actually use our platform. Let's say we make it like a 2-minute video to show them, okay, to upload, to verify the account, to do this. Because I understand your point, but we're actually looking into actually giving them some kind of extra. This is how you do this thing, and an easy flow. One of the ways, right, for them to actually get this thing done.
Also, manage them in that.
So that we're looking at, we're working to them to get more knowledge on getting to that space. And to your question, you said managing them. Like I mentioned, it's an hard job to do, but we're actually starting from the point of actually getting them in and letting them to see why this is important. You need to deliver
The job. If you don't, it's a red flag for you. I understand. See, and we need to let them know that. See, when you're on our platform, you are getting the money. Yeah, because you are getting paid to this job, and you need to deliver. Like you mentioned, the court 50%.
You need to deliver, and there's a place of training from our part too. Let's say, okay, come together, because aside from this, one of the ways is also to train them on customer management. How do you interact with people? Because our customer need is actually watching, okay, how can you interact with, engage with people, interact with them, and make sure, okay, you have jobs. Because what artisans do most of the time, they will have plenty jobs, but they still collect them down, and they promise to work. I can't tell the person, I will deliver quality job, but can you give me time? Can we negotiate better? So we are looking into training them to actually know how to manage them. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, my name is Olisa. What's Olisa? My name is Olisa. The app, is it for Lagos users or anybody outside Lagos?
Anybody outside Lagos? We are not using Lagos. Yes. Anybody outside.
Starting from Lagos.
Yes.
All right. So, from what you said, I understand that there are 4 major things that you do. You have platform for artisans, event centers, you are listing event centers, and then you do property rentals.
Yes, yeah.
Right? And then there's asset sales. If anybody wants to sell assets,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So these are 4 key things, four things that
are connected
as individual businesses and employers.
Yeah.
And then you say you want to use an escrow system. Now, escrow system, I don't know how it will really work for all of these of tech that you're trying to do, because event centers, they get event every Saturday, right?
Okay.
So some of them are even overbooked already. So why would they subscribe to your escrow system when they can also get, money directly from their clients and collect 80%, 90% from their clients? And another concern I have is that people might start using your platform for price comparison and confirmation, right? Okay. They will come to your platform, okay, event centers are at Ikeja, how much are they? And then they will take the name of the event center, go straight to the event center, and negotiate the prices. So how do you address all of these
Okay, thank you.
For that. Very good. So one of the ways to actually, because
Our business model, we have the subscription-based model, and we have the commission-based model. So any event center coming to our platform will pay us before you list. You pay us before you list. So we've already gotten our money. So the place of you now coming to actually say, okay, we want to give you commission. Okay, you want to pay. You can choose not to pay through us. Saying you to pay through us because assets purchase or something can be tricky.
That's what I'm telling you. See, pay through us, we can guarantee you that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you can actually, so all of those things are actually involved. So we get our listing. Before you come, though we have some free listing, like 2 listing or so, but before you list, you pay us. Yeah.
Do you have confirmation, like the real confirmation that this will actually work?
Yeah. We have our competitor is actually doing the same. The Nigerian Property Center is doing it, and if you don't list, if you don't pay them to list, you are not getting anything done. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, so those things you are doing a lot. And number one, why at gmail.com? Since you have a website.
Okay.
And you think you are doing a lot.
Okay. We actually, because we are not doing a lot.
For it, like they are doing individual things on their own. You can answer that later or think about it.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Venue Europe?
No.
So what they do is you list your halls on them. What's this guy? Uche, what's
I think I've heard of Oga Venue.
Is that?
I said I've heard of Oga Venue or something.
No, it's not Venue Europe or something. What they basically do is just for venue. But then it's there already. And the chances that someone is going to pay for it, because people that rent venue, in most cases you are not only renting the venue, you are probably going to add some other services to it.
Sure.
So you are renting the venue, you are looking at live, power, and every other thing that will make you host your event. And I'm going to make that available on your platform.
Okay, so for the renting of the venue, for every venue that will be rented, you give us the amenities you are providing with it. Like, let's say, I'm renting this event hall now, and you will say, okay, you are giving me your light, you are giving me, so each venue will list what they will be giving with that package. So, any other thing you now have, you can negotiate with them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
So outside?
Yeah, you can. You can negotiate with them. Do you understand?
Why am I coming to your platform in the first place, if I can just go through them?
Okay, you are coming to our platform because you might not know them before you come to us. That you might not know them. Okay, how many event halls do you know around? You might not know them, but we are giving them visibility. Come to us, chat on our platform. Chat on our platform, discuss, negotiate on our platform. That's why we have an in-app chat. Instead of you going to negotiate on our platform, send all your details on our platform, and get these things done.
The majority of these platforms are on Google Business Profile. I can easily go to Google and search. All of these events, this place is on
phone number.
I will see the website, phone number, I'll call it straight up. Hotels, I can do that. Any hall in any hotel, I can do that. In this Lagos. Yes.
I know, right?
Except you are telling them outside of Lagos. But in this Lagos.
Basically anything. Okay,
But,
I think you guys are
okay.
First of all, I don't think there's anything. So for instance, there's almost no startup, right? That when you go to Google to search for, you don't see an alternative.
Sure.
You get my point? But when you're making it like an app or a website or a company, you're making it more verified. You get my point?
Sure.
So one thing I actually like about what he's saying, let's say I get you. One thing I actually like about what he's saying, concerning them making their own commission. For instance, through the platform, through people actually listening on their platform, they're actually getting paid. Now, through them they're actually getting their own payment from the people already listed on their platform. So if you're negotiating with them outside of the platform, it's good. It's too cool.
Yeah.
But they've already gotten their own payment. But the advantage of working with them is just the extra part of it still. So if you're paying through their platform, you're guaranteed that you also get a money back because of the money and everything. There's nothing you actually say that, okay, when you search on Google, you won't see alternative. But when it's a company based and it's well branded, it makes it more legit and more powerful than just going and searching on Google.
You want to download an app just because you want to rent an event center?
Yeah. Event planners do that. Some people, yes. That's you. We have different users. Are you an event? Have you seen an event planner planning an event?
He has an account, but I'm not downloading the app. If I'm not using it every day, why do I need it? Okay, but don't just yourself.
Yeah, you are just a user.
You don't use your own.
Do you know how many event planners in Lagos that are stressed because they don't know the events in the places? Do you understand me? You're just.
That is you. It's not a lie.
You're just. See, let me tell you something. I'm sorry.
So I like that
we are very engaged, but we also have people watching online, and for some reason our mics are not working, so if all of us are talking over each other, they won't hear anything. So, what they're asking is a very important question. I was talking with someone this week. Our service is not the kind of service that you go to every day. You don't need it every day.
Sure.
So, the question I asked her is, I wake up in the morning and I pick up WhatsApp because I want to see your WhatsApp status. Or I go to Twitter because I want to see who is being dragged today. If I pick up, how many of you here have Jumia food on your phone? Okay, sorry.
Because you are not.
How many people have Glovo on their phone?
Or Child Deck. I do have Child Deck.
How many times do you wake up in the morning and Glovo?
No, not every day.
That's the idea. So, this is not a service I will need every day. Okay, how many times will you rent a house?
Once in a year.
If you live in Lagos, you will try.
But wait, let me.
I'm coming. If you live in Lagos,
yeah,
you will try your best to do that once in 5 years.
Sure.
Because you don't want any stress.
Sure.
Now, if that's the case, if I'm not an event planner, I don't need to use your app every
Sure.
day. So what they're pointing out is a very valid reason. Uber, I use Uber more than our event planners probably don't use any app as much as they will use Uber. Yet, you have people who come on Uber or Bolt, they get one person's number, and anytime they need a ride, they call that person.
Sure.
So, marketplaces, especially in Africa, we will always have that problem.
Sure.
We're not going to change it.
That will not change.
So, the question for you now is, how do you make people not do? How do you reduce? Because it's always going to happen. There's nothing you will do, even if you start fining or suing everybody, they will still do it and tell you to do your work. Asking, which you don't have to answer, is how do you reduce such incidents?
Sure.
How do you do it? That's all. And like I said, you don't have to answer.
Sure.
You have a question, right?
Not exactly a question, it's more like a suggestion, right? So I feel like you have a good idea, like your idea is good, it's sort of good, but it's not product specific. Right? I feel like you have these 4 major things that you can build features around, right? So what I feel, if I would see a product, what I would suggest to the person is take a single product feature, right? Then build features around the product. Some of them mention, you want to have artisans on board, right? So that would like be your primary offer, right? And then you build things that make people want to use that product. Meaning you are offering artisans, right? You're also offering other features that support wanting to use the artisan feature. Or say you're doing events now. The other man mentioned about events, right? So you know that when you want to get an event center, you probably will be looking at transportation, mass transportation for people, you're probably looking at security, you're probably looking at ushers, right? This is something that you now have the product that you are offering. You're saying, come, I'll give you an event center, but I could also give you these other things that would ease your entire stress, right? So it means if you're getting the event center, it means I can also offer you security.
Sure.
I can also offer you transportation. I can also offer you usher, catering, that kind of stuff. So now the product is very specific. You might not get everyday users, but your product would sort of be let me just say it's sort of like a landmark in that scene. Right? Yeah. So I think your product is just has many things that it's trying to do. Maybe you should sort of try to see how you can put it together and then just have tiny features that just support those.
All right, thank you.
Concerning the app, I think I find it kind of isolation. I think you guys should focus on the web-based app. Like I said, Glovo. When it comes to Glovo is my phone. I use that from 11 Pro Max. It's speakable. Now, when your iPhone is automatically fixed,
sure.
You have it as like that's there. But what I do now, and what works for me is, if I have an app that I use frequently, not too frequently, but frequently, I just go to their web-based platform they have and add it to my home screen. So that app is already on my phone. So when I need the app, I just go there and tap, and it leads me to whatever I want to do. I use it for anonymous message, and all the rest. You know how to use that. That's the solution that will work for you. But one thing I want to say is, like I said, you guys are not doing anything different from what's already in the market. So I want to know who is really your target or who is. We're talking about renting an accommodation. Are you trying to help people save money getting an accommodation? Because when you were explaining, you were more like eating on the profits, on the commission you're getting on that was what you were eating on. And that is why most startups have been like behind the scenes observing startup and the rest. And I can tell you one of the reasons why it happened is because they are more focused on the money rather than providing solutions for problems. Now I've been in Lagos for over 5 months, and I had this accommodation issue. When it comes to another time, I say Lagos accommodation is different from but then you have to pay, you get an accommodation, you have to pay on that security money, you have to think of paying light, you have to think of how do you plan to cope all this? What are you going for? You have to go back and see that. I want to help somebody come into Lagos, get an apartment at a cheaper rate and getting the best for less. Is that what you're going for? Or you already have your target audience? You just want to like get your share from the market. I don't know if you get my point.
Sure.
Is that what you want? Go back, think of who you are helping, how you want to help, and I think that will help you solve the problem. Maybe you should just be going for commission, you just open the company's website and like give your office, and you already have the contact. I think so. Because there's a way to just like go on for it. But if you're trying to build a solution, try to see from the user's point of view. Because me, if I'm going to renting out 1 year, 2 years, because the landlord is like crazy, I'm leaving. And you're going to rent a house from the site, and 1 year I can't live in that apartment for 5 years. You're going to go back there and get an apartment. It's not possible. So it's a good niche. It's like more research and think what you want from.
Okay, can I just quickly respond to that? Okay, thank you for that question. So on starting days, we had some market research and we did some competitive analysis, and we realized that, as a matter of fact, when I'm actually looking to move to another state, and I'm like, okay, I want to know what's happening in the state. Okay, I want to know what apartments is needed. I want to know what are the prices of things. Currently, I don't really have a place where I can actually say, okay, this is how this looks, and I can plan ahead. So one of the things we also do for users is that we help you plan. We help you help you plan effectively with our pricing. Okay, the pricing you've seen. And currently we don't own assets. Partnering with some companies that we can actually own assets, like what Split does. They'll say managed by Split. So we own, like owning is not owning per se, like manage the asset and tell you this one is managed by us, and we can even pay upfront to the person owning it. I will tell you, pay small on this. Do you understand me? We can tell you, okay, this is what is managed on us. Pay small on this. Can pay monthly rentals on that part.
Can I say something? Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Is it a question? No, wait. Is it a question? Wait, I'm coming. Is it a question?
From what he said,
yeah.
You mentioned that as a newcomer in Lagos, their app is going to like give me a view of multiple options. I think that is the solution you should be focusing on.
Sure.
That is the solution. Because I think if there's me and I'm a new person, then I don't go to the hustle and bustle of getting accommodation. I just want to see the options on the side there. I think that should be the solution. I can subscribe, like maybe like I can subscribe to like get views of what I want to see. Then if I see my choice, there's a contact there. I click and go. So that's the solution of itself.
Sure.
That of itself is the solution. So I think
exactly, but look at I'm sorry. I think our major this thing is Nigeria Property Center, our major competitor. But look at Nigeria Property Center, how easy it is to use the app.
I don't look at the house, I look at the contact number, call the agent. There's nothing special.
But you need to search on Property Center before you even see anything. I have it on my app.
It will just be recommended.
You search, there'll be a recommendation already. If I can go to this place now, you guys, there's a recommendation already for apartment for renting.
So how is it going to know what to recommend to you?
You don't need to know. There's a listing type that like platinum listing. You see what is there. We are looking at incorporating AI into it, whereby you can actually look at.
Sorry, please. As an engineer.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, I don't
No.
want to quickly ask.
Please, you can ask them.
So yes, you can't take everybody's question.
It's a question.
Yeah, it's a question.
Okay. Sorry, you meet him after. Thank you. So.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. All right, so Jeffrey is going to be pitching mandate.1. So you'll find out now how it's pronounced. All right.
On this mandate I stand. How do I use it? So how do I move to the next? Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeffrey, but I like being called Zoka. I hope you can all hear me. All right, given the antecedents of what has transpired in this room today, I would say that everybody's passionate about the real estate sector because of many reasons. So, our brother there, I can't remember your name, would agree with me when I say that finding a property in Lagos, Nigeria, is hard. Now, it's hard for many reasons. It's hard for many reasons, right? First and foremost is the price of whichever property you want to find. Secondly, the cost or the convenience of going from one property to another when you want to start searching for a property. And more importantly, the professionals in that space. Now, this is largely because there is almost no regulation in the real estate sector. I've probably been in the real estate space for almost a decade. I and my partner, Daniel Bauer, have been agents within a structured real estate company and independently, right? So we've been on both sides and we know what it feels like to be an agent. And in fact, many agents don't necessarily like to be called agents because of the, should I say, that is associated with being an agent. I mean, everybody knows how agents are, right? So what you know the work. Thank you. So I just mentioned all of the problems. Agents, the lack of transparency, and very importantly, the process of inspecting houses. Now, since COVID-19, we understand that fraudulent listings in Africa has increased by 60%, right? In Lagos alone, there are 500,000 fraud cases for property sales every year, right? Annually, there's a $21 million loss to property fraud in Africa, right? So the problem is really big. And this is not to let go of the low purchasing power. As an agent, you would understand this when I say that this is the situation in every real estate transaction. Now, as an agent, if I have a customer who tells me, oh, Jeffrey, I would like to buy a 2-bedroom in Ikate, I'll send a message to a few of my guys that I trust. And then they tell me, oh, I have a 2-bed here. In fact, I might even get the same 2-bed from so many of them. Now, the first question I'll ask them as an agent is, are you the mandate? Oh, what did you just say? Is it direct? Thank you. Are you an agent? They say something. Are you the direct? Or they will say, are you the mandate? Now, if they are not the mandate, they will tell you I'm the semi. Semi now even means different things to different agents. Semi might mean 1 before the client, or it can mean 1, 2, 3 before the client. At every point in time, all agents don't even know how many people are on that chain before the actual customer or the landlord, right? The other problem with this is what it causes is that the landlord says I want to sell for 2 million. This person adds 100K on it. This person adds another 100K. Now, the property might have been sold before this person tells the renter. Now, the renter is ready. This person has probably not even been to the property before. So you all get to the property and everybody's waiting for the agent that would show him this is the house. So even when you can point at which one exactly is the property. Can anyone relate to this? I mean, everybody's passionate about this. So we thought about this. We said, why, as an agent, I try to sell properties sometimes. I mean, I really don't do that anymore, right? But when I try to sell a property and I go and check Nigerian Property Center, it's very popular. Everybody knows NPC. But agents don't go there to buy a property, especially if you're a serious-minded person. So there's something agents do. They call it scouting. So I'll drive around Ikate. If my customer has said, I want to buy something in Ikate, I'll drive around Ikate to find properties myself. That's what serious-minded agents do, right? But after doing that, the person still has to go through the process of getting the customer to come out of his house to go there. Now, the rent will tell you to send him 5K before he even leaves his house. I've forgotten what they call it, but if you've rented a house in Lagos, you know that 5K is Sean, thank you, to get them to even stand up, right? So we thought customers don't necessarily want to deal with agents. Agents too don't. In fact, as an agent, if I just hear that there are more than 2 people on the chain, I stop discussing that transaction and look up to somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, you might get, the customer might be ready to pay and nobody is there to close that transaction. So what we decided to do was create. Now, if you just type on your phone www.mandates, I think it's on my, can you see it from here? Mandates.one, and you would see what a sample of our virtual tours look. So we went live with our MVP about 4 months ago, and we have a couple agents using it. Now, you notice our name is Mandates because we're not trying to register agents in Africa, and in fact, starting from Lagos. So what we've done is narrow down the agents on our platform to only mandates, right? So you would not find 2 agents selling the same property because we have an AI that blocks duplicates. Now, because there's no regulation, there is really no loyalty between customer or landlord and agent. So a landlord could be talking to 2 different agents, whoever brings the transaction or brings a customer first, right? I hope we're following. But we know that since both people can be called mandates, we want to make it simpler for customers so that customers can actually find some meaning. Our virtual tours, I don't know if anybody is currently checking that now to see what it looks like. All of our verified properties have virtual tours. And with that, it makes it possible for you to view the property and decide whether you want to contact the agent or not. Now, we know how passionate agents are about their commissions. How it works is very simple. An agent, after we are done verifying him, puts up his property, creates a virtual tour, duplicates, and approves for it to be listed. Right? We do the verification, and a property buyer or renter can go through this process of touring the property. Now, we are not saying that people might decide to pay for their rent here. We are probably still very far from that, like somebody mentioned the property online. But what I'll be able to do is view 10 properties or tour 10 properties and decide I want to waste my fuel or go through the pain of going through traffic for only 2. So I don't need to go and see all the properties because it's probably a waste of my time. There are some properties you just walk into and you realize you used the old deck. Yeah, so this market size is wrong. The market size for the African real estate market is actually $300 billion. And the residential market size is about maybe 200 plus. I can't remember exactly. The you mentioned is about 5.88% per year. Now, according to Estate Intel, there are 10,000 keys in development within the Lekki-Epe corridor. So it tells you that there will be more and more properties available for rent, for short let, and for sale. I already mentioned all of these stats with respect to the loss. And okay, so I would like to point something out around this. Now, there are 600,000 visitors, 600 to 1 million visitors for an average listing site in Nigeria. The best we have in Africa is about 5 million, right? But that's largely because it's that low because people do not necessarily trust the platform. So there's no point going there to find a property. What we're trying to do is to become the Zillow for Africa. Our business model is to so we're a B2B2C platform. We're focused on, our customers are realtors, while their customers are renters and buyers. It would cost them maybe $2 per month. If you had just one property for sale, it will cost you $2 per month to have it there. And maybe after it's sold. But if you're an agent and you had multiple properties, you'll be able to pay $7 for 5 tours. And for unlimited number of tours, $10 per month. Of course, once we build some popularity, we'll make money from advertising, and we intend to get money off commission for processing the booking of short lets. Now, not for home purchase or anything, but we know that eventually the agent or the mandate of that property, 50,000, 200. Competitive advantage is just very simple things. Our AI that prevents duplicates, our virtual tours that makes it convenient for customers to view a property before they decide to go, and then verification of mandates. Our team is made of Daniel Bauer, and Christian. We've all worked on the previous startup, and we worked at big companies like SAP, PwC, Olam, and Page Finance. We're currently seeking $175,000 at our pre-seed round in order to improve all of these, our product, growth, infrastructure, and development. So if you're interested in funding us, please, let's get talking.
All right.
175.
So, there are 5 questions, and one is already online, which means your hand is not up now, you will not be contributing to this conversation. Thank you. One question. So the first question, someone online has already gone to the website, and the person says it's a good platform, but the prices is seen are high, and they are all shorted. Is there a reason for that?
Okay. Said previously, we are working with only mandates. And if we had opened it up to every, I don't want to use the word Tom, Dick, and Harry, but if we had opened it up generally to everybody, we would probably have maybe 500 agents registered by now with more properties on the platform. So we don't necessarily control listings. What we do is we are just open to verification those that come online. So I'm sure that in a few months we'll probably have more rents available for viewing.
All right.
Yeah. So, sorry, question. I just wanted to know how you're able to achieve this.
Achieve what?
I mean, it looks like the Google, yes.
It's VR technology. It's not new actually. I mean, Facebook has been putting in billions into that since 2012, right? Is it 2012? Yeah, very old. So we are just leveraging on technology that already exists in fact, in a place like the US, this is commonplace. Probably 80% of their listings have virtual tours. So Nigeria is really just slow at getting there.
Sorry, we cannot.
Okay, yeah. I was very excited.
Yeah.
But the issue is, the guy online asked, I saw for 5,000 naira per day.
Okay, that's for a shortlet. That's probably why it's per day.
Yeah, but there's nothing else apart from those kind of.
Okay, like I said, this is still our MVP, right? And I'll just like to mention something. We're building a mobile app that makes it possible for agents to do the virtual tours themselves. Now, using your average phone. So with our app, you'll be able to do that, right? So that's where you're actually paying to do the virtual tours yourself, right? And then have it on the platform. You pay monthly to have it there, and when it's sold, you can take it off.
Okay, so I think my main questions are, I'm curious why you chose Zero for after because I know Zero was 280 million.
Yeah, but their revenue was 1.9 billion.
Yeah, but they went to the money. So, I mean, Junior has lost.
Okay, let me point something out. Zillow is kind of like a bedrock for listing properties, right? So we know that eventually virtual tours will become commonplace and might eventually become the standard for listing properties. So what we are doing is building the infrastructure for other property listing sites to be able to use virtual tours. So we'll give APIs that other property listing sites can allow their agents. Now, we will still be limited to only mandates, but anybody on any other property listing site will be able to use our APIs to upload virtual tours to other property listing sites whenever they decide to jump on that.
So I'm looking for us. Can you walk me through the process of what when I get to, let's say,
Sorry, please. I'll just like hear what you're saying. I can't hear.
Yeah, I just want you to walk me through the process as a customer. What do I get to your platform? Can you just walk me?
So it's really simple. There's no technicality to that. If you are looking for a property, you just go there and then search. And then when you find a property, you have direct access to the mandates. We are not trying to be mediators, right? What we're only doing is verifying them before they even get on the platform. Yeah, so once you get there, you'll be able to find the contact details of the agent. So I can assure you that if you talk to an agent there now, the agent has access to the property. He's not going to take you to the front of the property and wait for another agent to come and show him.
All right, you have a question.
Yeah. Okay, around the because you said you're targeting the B2B, targeting the
B2B2C.
I know 3 restaurants and they all have their social media channel. That's their primary outreach to get customers. So how do you plan to raise money from these guys that want to keep their own space?
How do you
want to raise money? How do you want to keep your revenue around these guys that want to own their own space from YouTube, TikTok, and so on? How are you going to convince them that they should pay for your platform?
Okay, being an agent, I know that prior to 2018, most people just took maybe average pictures of properties, right? And eventually, videos became the standard. If you even send a picture to a property, to a customer, they will ask you for videos because videos show you a lot more. They started adding drone videos. So a virtual tour just gives your customer, like I said, we are serving agents so that they can serve their customers. A virtual tour gives their customer a better experience. For example, like you mentioned, I'm coming into town from outside Lagos. I want to see the property. I don't need to send somebody to go and view the property for me if I'm only going to spend 3 nights there for a short let, right? And the frequency for checking short let from our research is way higher than maybe rent or purchase that is just once in a while. With the need to serve their customers is actually what we are banking on. And the reality of things is that now I need to know that agent to even go and check his Instagram profile. Right, so what we're trying to do is just be a marketplace for everybody.
Sorry, I'm thinking that you must try to expand beyond just having these guys paying you. Because
Sorry, I didn't get that.
you must look beyond having just agents paying you. You must look at, let's say, having properties of your own of your own. You understand? Then customers.
We're not asking.
No, but that's the business model, right?
Yeah, not immediately.
Yeah, but these guys want to have their own space eventually. Do you get? So they will list 1 month, 2 months, they're going to put it out. Do you get? Just have that back on mind. So why not also having properties on your own name? Like you have this property, come and rent it with us. Then you get your commission.
We're not trying to be agents. Like we have established, there are many real estate space. I mean, probably 20 property groups on Slack and WhatsApp. If you're an agent, you know these things. It's still peer-to-peer that drives the market.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I know you're late, but we cannot take one. We can't take any other question. We are going to be taking the last for today. So, yes.
So I'm free?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you probably don't need this since it's just.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Am I audible enough, please? Yes. Okay. So no slide because I want to make this straight to the point. First of all, let me ask, how many of us here knows someone that passed on due to work-related stress? How many of us here know someone or have heard a story of someone that passed on due to work-related stress? Now, death is a very interesting topic, so people tend to shy away from it. There are people here seated that didn't raise their hands, but they've actually heard died because of the kind of work. But why people tend to keep quiet is it's not an exciting topic. It's not the topic they are fond of. But guess what? We are here to solve certain issues in line with this. Now, in Nigeria, for example, other parts of Africa too, but Nigeria that claims to be the giant of Africa, it's interesting to note that not in terms of workers' well-being. Too many organizations only see HMO from the angle of if a worker falls ill, you go to the hospital, the company foots the bill. But guess what? That is counterproductive by various standards. First, you've left the office. That absenteeism is affecting the company negatively. Secondly, you left the office seeking what? Cure.
Sorry. Please, can we reduce the size of the thing?
Secondly, you left the office seeking cure, not prevention. And we all know here that prevention is less expensive and better than cure. So, well-employee, if you even ask your, what's it called, ChatGPT now, what is well-employee, it will respond that this probably is a platform that caters to well-being of employees. It's that simple. In 2016, when I was working with Fidelity Bank, I saw one of my go for maternity leave. Next few days, she was back in the office, and I was like, well, this lady just went off a few days ago. What's happening? And I noticed that when she came back, she was always looking so sweaty at her desk. So sweaty. Like, I was like, are these people not seeing this lady? Even when she's not on her jacket. I just felt, okay, maybe this is how things work. Well, guess what? Few days after that event, she was on her way to work, very close to the office. She fainted. She could have passed on. So that was a bit of a moment of clarity for me because I asked questions after that, and they're like, this is how it works, so people die. Even recently, when I mean recently, like 2 weeks ago, I heard of a top guy, very intelligent guy, less than 30 years of age, in Access. Now, these things happen because we let them be. After my experience with that organization, I went to another organization, finance organization, international finance organization. Those things were not happening there. I don't know if I'm painting a picture here. So what we did is we said, okay, let us look at creating a platform that speaks to HR, that speaks to insurance, that speaks to corporate well-being, and speaks specifically about prevention. That prevention has to be in-house. It doesn't have to be something you go outside the organization to do. And it has to be a policy. There are companies in Nigeria, very few, where if they say Wednesdays for workers' well-being, if you chose not to partake in those programs, they will not go hard on you. But if that worker falls ill tomorrow, you know it was your own doing. I don't know if someone is getting me clearly here. You know it was your own doing. Now, some of us here might not see how this brings money, because you take some of these kind of ideas to organizations and they are looking at the bottom line. How does this translate to money to us? But I tell you, companies in Nigeria that are functioning well could have been functioning better if they only paid a bit more attention to their workers. The mental, physical, and emotional health of your workers it plays a huge role to the finances, profitability of your company. What that simply means is, if you think you made 1 billion naira in profits this year as a company, you could have actually made 10 if you had paid a bit more attention. There are some top companies in Nigeria. If you go on LinkedIn to see comments on what's happening there, you'll be shocked. One of the biggest companies, I went to see comments in terms of workers' well-being, how they let foreigners, expatriates, come here and mess up. It is nothing to write home about. These things are they are bizarre, because we ought to have gone past this stage, but everyone is keeping quiet. And I tell you, if anyone slumps dead in the office, it doesn't take more than 2 days. A replacement comes in. So with Wellployee, we have a team made up of 5 fitness coaches, 2 nutritionists, 2 massage therapists, and a physiotherapist. We focus on 3 things: nutrition, exercise, and rest. We've seen from various sectors, various angles, various reasons that these 3 keys are keys to preventing risks, workplace well-being related risks. I've seen men that eat Oreos in their office desks. I used to think Oreos are for kids. I've seen men that eat Oreos, getting the tummy and everything, affecting their workflow, but they don't know or they don't care. I've also seen men that I don't know how macho that is, that they feel like it's only when I get home I will eat my wife's food. So you go to work from morning 8 a.m., stay till like 6 on, because you are macho. It's only when you get home you eat your wife's food. You've been running on empty gas for many hours. Fine, that guy is still giving his best, but I tell you that best is subpar to the actual best. I don't know if I'm painting. Now, if you feel you are so macho to eat food, you can have 2 bananas during that 8 a.m., during that 9 hours of work. You would see how far and how well that also improves your work output. That's for the aspect of nutrition. Then you talk about the aspect of physical activity. Job descriptions tend to be sedentary in nature. Especially some of us that work here, remote jobs, it's mostly sitting in one place. Now, I tell you, that sitting in one place, day in, day out, is not helping that person. It's not helping that person. So we have coaches that can be booked. That coach can either come engage. If you go on Instagram, you search Wellployee, you see where we have talk. After his work closes 5 p.m. for the day, he has a personal coach go to his office, engage him from that 5 till 6 before he goes home for the day. You know why? If you are saying, I don't have time, you will never find time. Time comes when you make time. When you see that this thing is important, it's worth my time. So we've taken this to be so easy for everyone to look into. And we are looking at scaling. That's why I'm here to speak. Scaling in 2 ways. 1, we want to set up a new well-being center. 2, we want this to be very much a tech tool. So we have created an app which we're about to launch. We want that app to speak things I've mentioned here. That's all.
Okay, yes.
That was good.
Thank you.
The intention is global. But I think Nigeria is
peculiar.
a weird place.
Peculiar. Word is too much.
So the effort at insurance insurance penetration in Nigeria currently is 0.5%. No, as at 2023.
0.5%. Meaning insurance companies come to Nigerians and say, hey, let's secure your future. And less than 1 out of 100 says, I'm interested in securing my future.
With all of that effort, it's only 0.5%.
I can believe that very well.
That I insure. Nigerians believe that if you are hoping for something bad to happen,
then it will happen.
Yeah, like
no need
so
to
you
prepare.
can just pretend as if it's not. And
blood of Jesus. You know?
Unfortunately, it's very real. So you have to think about how to
navigate.
Cars,
yeah.
For example,
yeah.
I know that the car insurance, they have to go through the government to make it compulsory. Yeah, so even if it's an unknown insurance company, there is some kind of third-party insurance that kind of covers the other person you hit.
Yes.
Unfortunately, because we have this attitude towards insurance, when you still hit somebody on the road, you shout at each other and then everybody will reduce and repair their cars. Yes, there's no, like, your mind doesn't, you don't say, oh, I'm paid for insurance, yeah? So why not repair my own, let me repair yours? Because that solves that problem. But that's not the first thing that comes to it. So they're thinking to ourselves, what the wahala of trying to get this insurance thing done, and then let me go and repair my thing by myself. So I think the hard nut to crack is not in showing that it is a veritable project. But how do you adopt? And after adoption, how do you enforce? I know you hinted at that being a challenge that you would have to figure out. Enforcing, even if, as you've told us now that we shouldn't eat Oreos, whose mind has it changed? I don't think you've changed anybody's mind, even now.
They play.
And this is typical. It's like this is how we all collectively think.
Is it bitter? Well, it's not.
I completely understand what you're saying, yeah? But it's
the mind,
yeah. Over my head like
yes,
this.
yes.
So I'm like, yeah, nice. So the challenge now is how do you enforce it if you want it to at least make money for you? Then how do you adopt if you want to make money? At least you're looking at, okay, at least being forced to do it so you're generating revenue. But the second part of, would people actually now use it even if they corporate? Will they find a way to make the corporations adopt it? With people, with the actual employees you are trying to impact.
If they'll buy into it.
Would they buy into the idea of, like, do you know how Nigerians react to mental health? Like, you have to really, like, demand before you agree that something is wrong. Like, you have to, like, remove clothes and be going outside. Oh, something they worry about it. So, it's the same thing.
I get you.
How do you deal with all of that?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Noble intention there.
Thank you very
much. You are getting white papers. Don't worry, you're not being initiated into anything. The questions I hinted at that you'll be using. So I'll just tell you how it will work. When we are done with him, please don't go to someone you have spoken to before. I know the people that have spoken to someone else. So I will know when you are speaking to someone you know. I'll tell you all. So go to someone who hasn't spoken, who is not going to you. The paper you have has a question or a statement that's supposed to be a conversation starter. Use it to start a conversation with them. Don't bother about talking to all of us, yeah? Just talk to one person. So if it's just that one person that you speak to by the end of today, I think you know one more person and try, maybe you can take their numbers when you're done. So yeah, they need to say something.
Thank you. So I really, really appreciate your question. What he's asking is, okay, this is a good project. How will the average Nigerian buy into it? Because the average Nigerian is, for some reason, they always think very interestingly. You tell them about something that could be problematic to their health, and they go ahead and do it. It's the truth, even right here. The fact that I've said Oreos, the fact that it's the truth. It's the truth. I've forgotten there's this concept that when you tell people not to do something, they do it. I read something like that recently. So now we've talked about men not eating Oreos, and a man is thinking of going to get Oreos. Maybe he will not get, maybe someone that I didn't even identify is the person that will go and get like 2 bags of Oreos, 2 biscuits for the whole week. You understand? But what I think would work is advocacy. Now, you mentioned that the government has enforced car insurance. It's interesting. We watch movies, foreign movies. Don't you see how serious they take insurance? Is it because they are hoping that something bad will happen to them? No. Well, those things will happen. How do you intend to go through life on a straight line? It cannot work that way. Be ready for that. And how will you be ready? Insure your house, insure your car, insure your health. It's a thing of joy for a Igbo man to brag that I have like 3 insurance companies that are taking care of me. I'm settled. But here,
If you want to take more questions, who has the question?
Thank you so much.
sorry, did I answer yours? Advocacy. That we will do more advocacy.
I know. I'm just saying that.
We will work with some bodies, some top organizations, and probably the government as well, to see that this thing is in people's face. They adopt that mindset.
As you're talking, I can hear you. I'm just
Into that.
Impossible deal.
Trust me, Nigerians would buy into it. Depending on who is speaking to them. Maybe not me. Certain tools, certain people will speak to them. They will get into it.
Alright, number 1, my question is, your idea is perfect. Do you have like a similar company doing the same thing that you've talked about? And how successful are they? Or how bad are they doing?
Okay.
You understand? That's the point.
Okay.
You have to look into.
Okay.
What you're trying to do.
Competition.
Someone did it.
Competition.
Is there a competitor? Or are you just the first person to stop? So you have to give, at least do your research and then give us a feedback, or at least have it at the back of your hand.
Okay.
Again, it's more like a suggestion. Like I said, what you're trying to do is good. But based on the way employee well-being is one of the last things the company thinks about in Nigeria. There are people that own a company. I don't know if anybody here has a company. How many times have you thought about your employee well-being?
Employee appreciation.
What subjects
Would you devote for that? Good question.
to cater for their well-being? So it's something that has to do with a lot of change in the way people think before embedded into the system. And for it to be successful, for your business now, for your business model to be successful, you have to work with organizations. You have to work with employees. Because they are the ones that will buy into what you're doing. And then try and enforce it. That you have to work with employers, people that own companies. So you also have to think of how to approach maybe Access Bank, Fidelity Bank, and then talk to them on how they can employ you as a consultant or employ a company as a consultant to cater for the well-being of their employees.
Please, you have a short video I sent. So you can't do that. Okay. So that video just simply showed us engaging EcoBank staff right in the banking hall. That was December that just passed. After banking hours, a little bit of aerobics right there in the banking hall. They were having fun. They were dancing. There was a Bluetooth speaker. It was the employees that bought into that idea. Too many times we take this to the guy at the top, and they are looking, how does this bring money? Who you help? But when you take it to the employees, they're like, of course, we care about our well-being. Are you kidding? They take this to the HR that is HR. That one takes it to CEO, and it flows. So what you're saying is the employees first. The change that we are trying to create here speaks basically to the employees. I tell you, some of those CEOs do not even care about their own well-being. Not talk about well-being of their workers. They just see you as tools, money-making tools. Make us the money, that's all. But I tell you, fine, that's how the world works. Figures, right? Those figures that you think are where they ought to be. You said budget for the month. It could have been more. That's what we are saying. It could have been more. If you did a little bit more consideration, and that consideration is not you wait for the end of the year, you share live chicken that is shriveled to each member of staff as a well-being. See, these people you are dealing with are adults. They know when they are being bribed. They know when they are being motivated. It's two different things entirely.
Okay, so I'll cut you short. There are questions and there are contributions. You don't necessarily need to answer or respond to the contributions. You can just...
okay, you also asked the question too.
Yeah, competitors. Who are your competitors?
Competitors, most of them have been Nigerian health insurance organizations. However, offerings they give in respect to prevention do not cater as good as it ought to. So for me, I would say our competition is a foreign organization, two of them. One is Wellable. Wellable engages a Nigerian company, one of the top Nigerian finance organizations. Do you get what I'm saying? They had to go to US to get a company to provide employee well-being services for their staff. I'm talking about one of the biggest finance organizations in Nigeria. I have people working there. They don't see Nigerian health like that. Okay.
So also, you're very passionate about the idea, right? But don't preach to us. You can convince us, or you can try your best to convince us. But the idea is that you are like pitching your solution, you are giving feedback, and then asking questions about it, right? Your job is not to convince us, basically, you're doing and getting feedback.
Thank you. Did I answer yours?
Yeah. Great work that you are doing. The job of wellness is like everybody's business. I'll give you some context. So, people have ambitious dreams.
Chineke.
But they don't know when it's going to go bust, right? This year alone, at least 6, 7, 8 startups have gone bust in the Nigerian ecosystem. Jason Njoku had a blog talking about the streaming device. Now, what he's doing on streaming is great. Streaming is a great platform, but people are watching Netflix, not Roku TV. So, as long as it's promotional to say, okay, let's buy the Naira to grow the Naira. Roku TV wasn't doing so well, right? And he wrote a blog about it, wrote stuff about it, just to show you how really good sell an emotion, but at the end of the day, it's still numbers. So, to help you, instead of making it a question, because I have many questions to ask you, like too many. If I ask you everything,
maybe after this.
We'll not finish here. So, but I mean, some of the questions I'm trying to ask is, does it pay? Like you already said, does it pay? What's the traction like? And what's funding before? I mean, who's funding you? And how do you? Because I mean, when you say advocacy, right? If you go to say anybody, the person will ask you, okay, you know what? Fine, we believe in mental health. That's one. 2, we believe that people should be taken care of. That's 3. But who have you done this for? So that will be traction, right? Like, where are you coming from? To make it like this is a product. You get how much you have, how much have you spent, how much you want in. So why are you thinking about the product that you're trying to create? Because it needs to move from what we think it should be to actually a product that someone can put more. And the only way you can make that a product is to do a traction of what you've done, what you are doing, how that traction transformed, how that advocacy actually transformed the wellness of those people to improve their performance, to then become a product that you can then sell, right? So yes, advocacy, right? This advocacy too, right? Is it helping? So I mean, business is converting to make sure that this is a product that, okay, then we want the Bill and Melinda Foundation to back with some dollars, right? To then make your wellness center now work. Right. So I'm thinking that you should think along those lines of traction or funding of use cases and show actual conversion of what you are doing as done. For someone to then say, okay, I'm going to back it with seed state funding, pre-seed funding, this funding, and we should not.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. So I think many people have mentioned many points, but I want to say something like Nigeria here. Three major things move us: sex, money or wealth, and hope. Hope. Yeah. Those are the three major things that move Nigerians to buy. So in a market where the product or the service you are selling is not
Speaking to this three, okay.
or is not something I consider that I need on a daily basis, these are the three things I use to sell. These are the routes. So it's like you are going through an in to sell your product. For instance, now you want people to eat 2 bananas during the day, right? If you want me to eat 2 bananas, see where you're going with that.
You understand? Context.
If you go through the HR, it's becoming serious. If you take it to the CEO, it's becoming serious, right? What about adopting an unserious manner to actually sell these ideas to them? For instance, you can have a fridge of, fruits in every office, every major office in Lagos, and say, okay, this is our brand. Consider that you need this package of certain fruit a day. So what next you need to eat is this protein, this mineral, and you'll be good for the day. You already got your mineral for the day. And then from there you can cross-sell and sell the
program,
physical therapy aspect of it. So you follow an indirect manner to sell your product. People will adopt it more that way than trying to go through organization, government.
Protocol.
It's becoming too serious. And you're going to spend a whole lot of your money on either consulting, advertising, orientation, and all of those things. So if you want to do profitable people, an indirect manner.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gracias. Gracias.
Like gamification.
Yes.
I think I have a suggestion. One of the easiest ways I think you can really push this is to go through the route of people who are already concerned about their health. For instance, you see many professionals now registering with iFitness. Some people go every weekend for wellness with Oriki. Because the product per se is a service, you can partner with these people. They already have a market, they already have users. You can just bring all of them together. Farm Fresh is about eating bananas and eating healthy. You can meet with Farm Fresh. They can be the ones providing maybe a healthier eating plan or meal plan for your people. iFitness, you can get them to do the physical activity. You see people doing work are still going to the gym. When you can make physical reaches, then you other things they are not offering. So what you're doing is consolidating
what they have.
Yes, what they have, and bringing all aspects together to one platform that you manage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
Right?
Yes,
that's true.
So what you're saying, I think it makes a whole lot of sense.
That's the drill.
You're not a tech company. If you try to start up or a tech company, and you got a lot of money for it, right? But for what you're doing, it's not a tech solution. That's the truth.
Even if there's app, even if
your app. So I think it's something that we should probably say a lot more. We usually have this debate in my house a lot. What exactly
is tech solution? Yeah.
Are you okay? It's an e-commerce company, a tech company. It's Global, a tech company. It's Chowtech, a tech company. Do you get? So you have a website, does that make you a tech company? You have an app, does it make you a tech company? No. So don't burden yourself with trying to be a startup. That's one. For what they are saying, you have like two major license stakeholders that you need to sort of convince. You have the employers who right now, because of either the culture or the fact that it's not enforceable by law for you to care for your employees. If they die, the government is not going to.
There are some laws, but
yeah, there are some laws, but you know how lax Nigeria's laws are. But if you need to convince an employer, for example, to even take HMOs. What he said, most of the people who still have insurance in Nigeria, they got it through their employers. They didn't get it by themselves. It's through their employers. And this is in a country where you can use a Wella Health, for example. and buy insurance for yourself. But I don't know the exact stats, but about 90 to 95% of them are getting from their employers. So what it's important for you to care for yourself, you still have to go through someone to get them to do it. And I don't know how many of us here have HMOs and you still don't use your HMO. You have a HMO.
Even some that use, they are not satisfied with.
Yeah, but even for you to use it, there are days when you're sick, you've taken your sick leave, but you stay in the house instead of using your HMO. So those are some of the things. And someone asked, or someone mentioned, I think during the last speech, that Jumia has spent a whole lot of money, partially because they had to educate users, and you have to educate users. So how much time, how much money will you spend to educate those users? That how do you educate me to use that? How do you educate me? Like you mentioned, making an employer stay beyond 5 p.m. to engage in physical exercise is beneficial to them. And that they need to beat Lagos traffic. Why should they do that? So those are all the considerations that you need to look into when you're thinking about it. And I think we've had really good contributions. So you can go back now.
Thank you.
Something I wanted to point out is so first, thanks to everyone who pitched, and I think we are supposed to have 5 people, but because of time, we won't be able to do that. I tend to get this question a lot after pitching. What next? And the truth is, I can't force you to build your company. There's only so much I can do, or we can do. If you decide after you've pitched today you won't do anything with your company, well, nobody will beat you. But beyond pitching, this should give you a little more clarity. You've probably heard a whole lot of people talk about what you're building. You've probably heard that this is difficult to do. But the fact that it's difficult to do should not be the reason you don't do it. The question now becomes, how do you do this difficult thing? My boss always says, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? So that's something to think about. You've gotten feedback. What's the next step? If you already have a team, are you sitting down with your team to think about how to, so for example, who you should be talking to? Are there specific organizations you should be engaging? You probably need to just see, okay, can I land 3 people over the next 1 month who just do this, even if it's just in the testing phase. For those who pitched, real estate mandates, for example. How do I get my next mandate? How do I address all the? So I think for your pitch was probably the one that got the least pushback for some reason. You got the news that's a great idea, and you've done a lot of work so far. For every other person, for Crestbase, you had all the recommendations. You're doing a lot. How do you streamline what you're doing? Maybe just start with just one. Because you can't do all of them at the same time. If you try, you will probably be ineffective. You use WhatsApp, right? What do you do on WhatsApp? Just messaging, Abi? Good. When the first version of WhatsApp, there was no status. But today you have status. Now you're trying to add finance, channels, communities, groups, everything. They are giving you a whole lot of things, right? But the first version of WhatsApp, the problem that we often see people face is you want to do everything at the same time, and you now are surprised that you're not succeeding, right? So I'm beginning to ramble, but the point is, Pitch Friday will be useless if we live here and you don't take any of the recommendations, right? It will be useless if you don't do any of that. So don't be surprised if 1 month from now I am in your DMs, because I have your number and I have your email. If I'm in your DMs asking you for feedback on what you've done with the recommendation, you can always go back, watch the session, just watch your own pitch, and then see what recommendations you need to implement. So thank you so much to everyone that came around. You have your questions. So once you get your small chops, stand up and go and meet someone. And as they say, talk to your neighbor, get their number, use those questions, use those conversation starters to just start the conversation. So with that, we have come to the end of Pitch Friday for November.
I can't promise you that there will be Pitch Friday. Sorry, I'm still talking, even though you are eating. I'm still talking. So, I can't promise you that there will be Pitch Friday in December. Okay. No, you see one. All right. So, like I said, I can't promise you that there will be Pitch Friday in December. And you know why. December is, you're trying to wind up. Everyone is probably looking forward to get home. So there may be no Pitch Friday in December. Of course, if you're, I don't know how many of us are coming here for the first time. Can you just raise your hand? All right. You probably got an email from me. You've been watching online. Oh, perfect. Yes, I need more of you to start coming physically. So all of you that came, you got emails from me, right? Perfect. So that email is, that's how I'll be communicating with you. If there will be Pitch Friday in December, you'll find out through the email. So thank you so much to everyone that has come again, and I hope I will see you guys when next we have something like this. Well, no, we probably will not stay up to next year, Sha, but let's see. I don't want to promise anything, but I'll be your email. So if you're not on the email list, can you just raise your hand? You're not on my email list. Are you on the email list? Do you know that there's an email list? You know? Okay, but you're not on the email list. Why?
I get messages from you.
From me?
Like the regular.
Regular? Okay, then you probably are.
I didn't get this.
Wow. Why is that possible? Okay.